Hey everybody, welcome to the show. You know where you are, the 9 at 9 with me, Tigo. And it's a VIP day, y'all. It's a VIP day. And if you missed last month, you got to go check it out. Be You for You with Richard Gordon. But today we're going to talk about confidence. Yeah, even I get really nervous when these cameras come on sometimes. We're going to talk about confidence and getting out of your comfort zone with my buddy Richard Gordon. So sit right there. We'll be right back. Welcome back. Yeah, you heard me right. Yeah, I get nervous too. You never know. When you step outside your comfort zone, we all get nervous. I think even Michael Jordan probably got nervous. Well, maybe in kindergarten when he first picked up a basketball. That's a different story. But today we're going to talk with my buddy Richard Gordon, our expert on being you for you. We're going to talk about confidence. Richard, are you out there?
I am here. Woo, woo. Always good to be talking with you.
I'm so happy to have you here, my friend. Let's talk about this confidence thing. You know, you see people on stages. We were just talking about our good buddy, Greg Reed. I mean, when he takes the stage, the room explodes. But I got to think that if he's outside of his comfort zone, maybe his confidence might check a little bit for, 10 seconds or so. What do you think? Does everybody get nervous?
Yeah, no, that's a great question and a great point. And the answer is yes. And we get nervous when we're not being ourselves, because we're trying to memorize a script. We're trying to follow someone's pattern. You know, we've all been to events and someone's trying to mimic a great speaker, or even the example you use about basketball player that tries to mimic Michael Jordan. It's never going to happen. You cannot do Michael Jordan. You can take some examples from his work ethic. You can take some examples of how he does his maneuvers, but you cannot do Michael Jordan. You cannot do Kobe. You cannot do LeBron. So that's the concept, is once you start being truly be you for you, you can step into that arena and you can be yourself and you're confident. So why are people not confident? Why are they not being you for you? Because it takes the confidence and the courage to step away. It's easier to move with the pack. When you move with the pack, you don't get any criticism. You don't get any critiques. You don't get anybody telling you you're going in the wrong direction, because you're all moving with the pack. Everybody's cool. You know, it's like the alcoholic has great buddies in the bar. So as long as he sits at the bar, nobody's counting his drinks. You know, nobody's critiquing his lifestyle, because they're all on the same path. So what does it take to break from that? It takes the courage, which gives you the confidence. So once you have the courage to take the stage and you do it based on your message and based on same thing you do. So when you do your podcast, you are not trying to mimic somebody. You're not trying to be the new Oprah Winfrey. You're not trying to be Diane Sawyer. You're not trying to be Barbara Walters. You have a very unique style that is you, but you have the confidence to do that. So it's kind of a double edge. You need to do something to get confidence. Right. And then once you have the confidence, then you can do it. But it's hard, because at first when you step out, and we talk about this in our conversations, once you step out, people don't like that, because you become unique. You become, what are the terms? Rebel. You know, you're breaking the pack. You're breaking with tradition. You're doing things different. You're not following the path. You're not following your family's path. You're not following your friend's path. You're not doing like the next door neighbor, little Jimmy. So therefore, all of these things come at you to get you back in line. And so therefore, it takes confidence to step out and say, hey, I'm going to do me. And once you do it for the first or second time, people are kind of like, that's a little bit different. We're used to. Example, I went and taught a martial arts class at my buddy's school. I'm teaching for over 20 years. I got my stuff down, you know, not to brag, but you got it down. You got it down. And I go there and they were perplexed, because they had never been taught by someone like me, because everyone they had been taught by had followed this very cookie cutter process. And so they were just completely overwhelmed, saying, whoa, why, yo. And then I kind of calmed them down and spoke to them. I said, I'm getting you to think, I'm getting you involved. And then they liked it. But it's always the initial change that people don't like. So you have to have the confidence to step out.
Yeah, and then the question becomes, though, because I know people are watching right now and they know the next level to their career, the next level to their relationship means breaking out of that comfort zone, stop dreaming about it, start being about it, and actually making that move. And when you first find yourself, standing out there by yourself on stage or in your business or literally driving your car to your first potential client, that's when you get the little bit of the nerves and a little bit of the panic, and you don't know what to do. And maybe they don't have my buddy Richard, but you should go to Tigo Direct, connect with Richard. But maybe you don't have him yet. What do you do when you feel like you're all alone and you have nobody to turn to?
Yeah, again, great questions you asked, because that's when self-doubt kicks in. So we're always going to have self-doubt. Even the greats have self-doubt. Even the top performers in music, in sports, have self-doubt. Can I do it better? Can I be better? Am I real? People have that like fake syndrome. Am I fake? Even though I'm successful, I'm a $1 million bookseller, but am I real? Are they really seeing me? So you just have to put the self-doubt aside once you're being you for you. Again, I get back to you. Once you are confident in knowing you're going to make this podcast work, in the early days, you were scrounging to get guests. You're scrounging to get airtime. You're scrounging to get people to listen. And so that's where you have to push down the self-doubt, because you're being you for you, because you're saying, this is who I am. And you went and you said, hey, I'm presenting to you what I am going to do and what I know I can do. So that's where the confidence comes. When you're presenting a false, or you're selling something that's not true to you, or you're selling a product, you're selling a pen that you don't believe in, it's not sincere. It's not going to be right. You're not going to be happy. You're not going to have the success. So once you truly know who you are, I want to be a guitar player, I want to play the tambourine, then my focus is tambourine. I don't have any doubt, because I'm going to do whatever it takes to play that tambourine. I'm going to play in hotel bars. I'm going to play in airport bars. I'm going to play on a street corner. I'm going to call my buddy Tigo to see if she knows anybody that needs a tambourine player. And I'm sure you know a couple of people that you could probably hook me up with. But that's what determination comes with. And you and I know people like that. Where there's like these young kids coming, oh, I want to be in movies. I want to be in production. And they're like, they're confident, they're being true to themselves.
I totally agree. And, in my case, when I stepped out, because I was a producer, I still am a producer, a director, I was behind the scenes. When I decided to do this show, a lot of the people in my inner circle and here locally in Las Vegas went, no, you're not a host. You're a producer. You're a director, blah, blah, blah. And I couldn't get them to come on the show. They were like, I don't get this. This isn't what you do. So I had to step completely out of my comfort zone and go into other markets and start interviewing people, cutting my teeth, as we like to say, and getting this down, and then come back to my local market, because they could see that I was serious about it. So sometimes you have to, in my opinion, you have to not only step out, but you may find yourself in an entirely different world and getting everything together before you go blazing forward. Is that right?
Yeah, no, absolutely. But that's where the confidence comes. The great story about the Beatles, they talk about that they played in some like little honky tonk place, and they were playing like 8 hours a day, and they were the Beatles. But they said that's how they honed their skills. And that's how they got the confidence to thrust forward to become the greatest rock band, you could argue, of all times. But that's how they did their thing. They stepped out into some obscure arena and they got their confidence. And then they were ready to say, this is us. This is who we are.
Yeah. And it just seems like, some people think that they want to put on, they're Superman. They want to put on a cape. They want to become somebody else. And eventually that falls apart, because you can only pretend to be somebody else for so long. So when you're talking about confidence, you're talking about confidence of your true self, correct?
Absolutely. Once you believe in yourself, and again, whatever your belief is, I believe that God created me, and God created me as a unique individual. And I have, I'm not the greatest talent in the world, but he's given me a lot of skill sets that I'm thankful for that I use. So once I have the confidence in being me for me, then I can go out and share my skills and live a good life. So that's the be you for you. Once you accept who you are, whether you're tall, short, because you know the drill. People's hair isn't long enough. It's too curly. It's not curly enough. People with straight hair are curling it. People with curly hair are straightening it. So you just have to settle into what you have is what our maker has given you and make the best of it, because you're not tall enough. You're not short enough. You're not wide enough. You're not tough enough. So you can do that whole game. So you just have to settle for being you for you and do the best with what God gave you.
I love it. I love it. Thank you, sir, for being on this episode. We're going to do this again next month. I can't wait to see what we're going to talk about. You, sir, like I always say to you, you're absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being on.
Thank you.
I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Go be you for you. We talked about Greg Reid for a second there, and I'm going to tell you, he's a good buddy. He's an amazing mentor. If you ever get a chance to see him on a stage, go check him out. But this is the same man you're going to catch at the grocery store. He is him for him. I'm always going to be Tigo. And I'm going to tell you right now, whenever you see Richard, he is always this cool, balanced dude that you can go to. The world could be exploding, and he's going to find the value in it and help you, find the exit so you don't get crushed by the building. That's just how it works. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you'll come back next time. And since we're on 5 days a week, that's probably tomorrow. Make sure you go check out TigoDirect.com to get in touch with Richard Gordon, because that's the best way to do it. And as always, I'm Tigo. I'll talk to you next time.